Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Departure. I am a Chicago-based flight attendant and I make travel flight attendant and lifestyle videos. And I needed to come on here and address what is happening and what updates I have with you in regards to my life as a flight attendant and in regards to my life as a furloughed flight attendant, because we just got information today. It's some big news, honestly really confusing, and I'm just gonna tell you what I know as of now, and obviously if I get any updates later, I will pass that on to you guys. If you're familiar with the airline industry and the news that's going on in regards to it and their furloughed employees, Congress finally agreed upon and passed the PSP. I believe it was yesterday. Yes, I think it was yesterday, or at least I don't even know at this point. Like, it's been 2 really long days. I can't even tell which day is which. But anyways, they passed the PSP and we are back on payroll as employees. So I don't know if I'm gonna be back in the skies soon. I don't know if I'm gonna be flying, but I'll tell you why. So basically my company, if you're familiar with my company or anything, they furloughed about 8,000 flight attendants back in October. So I've actually been on a leave from May until August. I flew for September and then I was furloughed for October until now. So I really only flew like 1 month since April because all my trips canceled in April. You can watch those previous vlogs if you're interested. But yeah, they passed the PSP and so we are back on payroll. Now I don't know if I'm flying or not because they basically sent us an email. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. This is like the first real email that we got in regards to it, and it's honestly so confusing, but they basically told us that they are going to be bringing back flight attendants like back on the line to be flying instead of just being like solely back on payroll like we're going to be just because of the PSP. But they basically said the earliest return to flying date for anyone is going to be March 2nd, 2021. So basically, if it's my understanding correctly, we're going to be back on payroll for January, and then they're not going to bring anybody else like back onto the line until March 2nd. And then I think they're only bringing back a certain amount in like seniority, I guess, of the 8,000 that were furloughed. They're gonna start with the most senior and bring back, I think, like 3,000 people. Like I said, the email is like super vague and I don't know if any of this information is gonna change, but that's basically what they've told us so far. I am 5,000 on the list. So there is 8,000 flight attendants and there's 5,000 that need to go back before I can go back, and then I have 3,000 people under me. That's just kind of like where my seniority is at. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be flying, because if they're bringing back flight attendants in March, that means they're probably not gonna bring back people like in March and then they'll bring back people in April, because we do like the monthly schedules. So I would assume that if people are going back in March, the next set of people wouldn't come back at least until the next month, if not even more months than that. Just, I guess, depends on what kind of coverage they need. But I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I honestly just don't know, because the vaccines just came out and I know there has been a pickup in air travel and bookings as of recently as compared to like 3 weeks ago. So that's good news, but I don't think that the world is just gonna go back, fall into place like perfectly right away. So that's kind of the part that's like, I don't know what's gonna happen. But also the payroll support, my understanding is that it goes until March. So if people are going back to flying in March, then I don't know if they're gonna furlough us again. Like, I really don't know, but as of now, it's really great news for me and a lot of other flight attendants that are working for my company, as well as other employees that were furloughed. There weren't more than just flight attendants that were furloughed. It means that everyone's gonna be, like I said, back on payroll, so people will get their health benefits back as well, which I know is really great for a lot of people. I am very lucky that I'm still young enough to be on my parents' insurance and stuff, but I know that was a struggle for a lot of flight attendants, that I know that they were like not able to find work, and if they found work, they didn't have health insurance. So I know that was kind of a headache for a lot of flight attendants. But at least we have this news for the next 3 months. We will see what happens in these next 3 months. We have a new year coming, and that's really exciting. But I'm just excited to kind of have things like maybe back on track for a little bit. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna go back to flying. This is really like the first bit of information, this email that I have in front of me. This is the first information that I have so far. And I don't know if I explained that correctly, if that makes sense to you guys, but to sum it up, basically they said they're not bringing anyone back truly to come fly until March 2nd. So now, as a furloughed flight attendant who's receiving this news, I just have to basically tell them if I'm going to come back to work, if I'm going to do a leave, if I had applied to one earlier before like we were furloughed, because people were able to attempt to get a leave before we knew if we were actually going to be furloughed, because, you know, back when they were trying to pass the PSP in October, that was an option for us flight attendants that were looking down the furlough path. And also resign. You know, some people might just at this point decide that they're going to resign from flying and they're just not going to go back to it, which I definitely will not be doing. That's not the case for me. I will go back to flying. Yeah, so that's kind of my update for you right now. I don't know what it's looking like for other airlines that have furloughed their flight attendants. I know there are some airlines that have been hiring recently, and it's kind of funny because I actually did like apply to a few of the airlines that were hiring. I applied to 2 of them, and one of them was my boyfriend's airline, and they actually told me no, which I was like, rude, okay. But I think it's because on my resume, I obviously fly for the company that I fly for, and I know some other flight attendants too that applied for that same airline and they got told no, probably because they're like, you guys are gonna leave as soon as you get called back from your company. So that was kind of funny. At first I was kind of like, what the heck? But also I'm like, everything happens for a reason. Like, I obviously didn't actually want to fly for that company because I already work for an airline, but like I was obviously looking for a job and stuff. And it'd be really fun to fly with my boyfriend. Like, that's kind of the one reason that I thought it'd be fun to do. I am actually super okay with that information, but I'm figuring it out one step at a time as well. And I know like my friends and I, like our group chat has just been blowing up the past few days, trying to be like, what is going on? Like, what information do you guys have? What are the next steps? What are you guys doing? It's just a really crazy time for all of us, really. So it's just one step at a time. That's really like all I have to keep telling myself is just like day by day, we'll figure it out, which has kind of been like my motto this whole year, but it's worked out so far. A lot of really hard times, but I definitely try to stay positive through all of it. Just like to recap the year, I really only flew like 4 months. I miss flying a lot, but it's been really great to be home and spend time with my family and everything like that. I know there's a lot of people out there that are also unemployed, so it's nice to know that like I'm not in it alone. We're all going through it. I think 2021 is possibly going to be better. I think it's going to be better. Honestly, like in light of everything that happened this year in terms of like losing my job and obviously like coronavirus, which is the reason I lost my job, there's just been like so many amazing things that have happened. And I know it's been like a really hard year, and sometimes I feel weird being like, it's been actually like an awesome year for me, like in terms of like things that are not COVID related. It's been like a really awesome year, and I have some like really exciting things that happened to me this year that I will probably share later on, but I'm not ready to share it now. But yeah, it's just like you have to stay positive through the hard times. And as much as I like feel sometimes like guilty to be like, it's actually been a really great year for me because I know it's been so hard for so many people, that's just me finding the positives in the midst of the craziness. Yeah, always find the positives through it. So if I get any more information, I will definitely like make another update video, / if I'm going back to work, I'll obviously let you guys know. But that's my life update as of now, and I know more information will come. So I hope you guys, if you guys are also furloughed flight attendants, you guys are just as excited to go back to work or have your health insurance back, all that fun stuff. So that's my life update, and I'm going to sign off now, and I will see you guys next time on the Daily Departure.